All right, we're back for round number 2 of TDL America's Pro Series 27, our late 2023 season. We have the winners of our last round, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, up against Inverse. Inverse is our 7 seed coming into this week. Believe they were also were they in last week's tournament? I assume they were because they're seeded at 7. Might just be based off of skill though. That is also a factor. Yeah, I'm not seeing them, so I think they may be new to TDL. This will be an exciting stack to look for.
10 seconds remain. 5
Curious to see if they've checked up on how our first series went, because 1-2-3 1-2-3 played some super high tempo Dota, and it worked very well for them. They took the series 2-0. Oh, and 1-2-3 1-2-3 took the coin flip, chose first pick. Inverse took Radiant side.
Dire's turn to ban.
Some standard bans coming out from Inverse: Chaos Knight, Spirit Breaker. 1-2-3 1-2-3 focusing on perhaps the mid lane of Inverse, or carry if that's where TA goes. But TA Primal going to be their bans to start things off. So different than what they were banning against 5 strangers in the first round. So they're doing some amount of research. They know something about these players.
It is Radiant's ban.
Inverse is a fully Peru stack, it looks like.
10 seconds.
1-2-3 1-2-3 is a mix of American Peru and apparently one Switzerland, according to the Wikipedia page for the tournament. We Dazzle and Treant Protector banned out. So we did see a Dazzle from 1-2-3 1-2-3. James had a stellar performance on that in game 1. But that's the only targeted ban, it looks like, from their last drafts. That said, the other 3 heroes they're banned. It's not for nothing. Those are very strong heroes right now, even after some of them got some nerfs in the patch. Like we were saying earlier, the 7.34 E-patch wasn't a huge patch. There's a lot of small changes to tune down the power of the bigger heroes that were being played at TI and following TI, like at the Kuala Lumpur qualifiers. Spirit Breaker got a little bit of a cooldown. I mean, they added a second to the cooldown of Charge of Darkness. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's still seeing play the way he had been. 1-2-3 1-2-3 getting into their reserve time on their last ban here of the first phase. Probably also thinking about what their opening pick would be. So they went with the Nature's Prophet in game 1 and 2 of their last series, so I wouldn't be surprised for them to just bust out the 5-5-5 Nature's Prophet again. They are going to ban the Dawnbreaker, which they were banning against 5 strangers as well. I'll round out their bans. We'll see what they choose to open with here.
5 seconds remain. Radiant must choose.
It is going to be the Nature's Prophet, so... I mean, 5-5-5 has looked great on it. I didn't highlight him as an MVP, but I mean, he's in game 1 he was setting the pace in both of the side lanes, and really in both games. He kept making the TP rotations down to the opposite lane. Really impressive stuff. They also kicked off the chaotic fight that ultimately won 1-2-3 1-2-3 the game in game 2. um, with a beautiful Sprout to catch everybody as they were coming through the Twin Gate. And make sure that they had vision up on that high ground. It's going to be a first phase Pangolier coming out from Inverse, so prioritizing most likely that mid laner, which we did see was also what it looked like 123 was targeting with at least one of their bans with the Primal Beast. Now they're going to look back towards that carry position with the Morphling ban. Here that saw a ton of popularity earlier in the year and has still been up there in carries.
5 seconds.
I always like watching him. I think he's one of the more fun carry heroes to watch. So, a little disappointed to see that taken out. I like this Pangolier from Inverse, especially if they are keeping tabs on how 123 won their last series, because Pangolier is also a very high-tempo hero and is going to be really good at breaking up what these guys try to do. Centaur is going to be the other ban for 123.
10 seconds remain.
They, I believe, had him in their last game on their side. Yeah, Lil Nick played a really good Centaur last game. But perhaps concerned that Inverse could grab it on this pick. Bloodseeker going to be the last ban of the second phase, coming out from Inverse. Lead right into their next pick.
10 seconds. 5
Curious
seconds.
to see. I imagine they'll pick up a support here rather than another core. So we think 123 could have gotten there. Oh, Grimstroke did not get banned. And that's paired with a Pangolier. Okay, this is already looking like a strong draft from Inverse. But 123, they get Demon's Tusk back. This was what they played game 1. And that was our MVP from game 1. He was an absolute menace with the snowball saves. And that's exactly what you're going to need trying to play into this Pango Grimstroke combo. Grimstroke loves a hero that likes to go in with the Inkswell, and that's exactly what Pango will do. Doesn't exactly combo with the Soulbind. Soulbind is actually a really good counter for Pangolier, so I think it's also a bit of a protection pick to take it. They're going to take the Invoker on the Dire side. We saw James absolutely body an Invoker in game 1 with his Dazzle in the lane. Looks like this time it'll be James playing the Invoker themselves.
10 seconds remain.
Excited to see what they're going to do with it.
5 seconds remain.
Now we get another pair of picks from Inverse. Expect to see at least one more core that works well with Grimstroke, either as a Soulbind combo or an Inkswell Enjoyer or both. To see something like a Slardar, that's been a big offlaner lately. They're going to go with the Pugna as likely their other support. And that's a good Soulbind combo hero. You can get the double suck going. See what else they're going to round out this second phase of the draft with. I also like what Inverse has going for the counter to the tempo. Like, these heroes are all happy fighting early. I think the Invoker is a bit of a step back in the pace that 123 was setting in their first series today. Most likely we're going to see one of our side lane cores here, probably the off lane, unless that's where this Pangolier is going to go. But most likely the Pangolier will be in the mid lane, and we'll see. I imagine they're going to save their carry for overall last pick, but maybe they want to have, maybe they have more counter pick potential in their offlane roles, so they'll grab a carry here before more carries get banned. I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
Dyer's turn
We've
to
seen a
pick.
decent amount of either, but they are going to go for the Slardar. Excellent. Yeah, so this guy loves being right on top of his opponents. He's going to pair super well with the Inkswell. Actually, in particular with the Inkswell, because that's percentage-based move speed buff, and he buffs his own move speed with
10
his Q.
seconds remain.
And then he gets to double his ult. I mean, his ult's on a low cooldown anyway,
5
but being able to put his ult on
remain.
2 targets at once with the Soulbind, pretty nice. Certainly doesn't mind that.
is
And
Dyer's
easier to set up
turn.
2 stuns. Hero. It's going to be the Spectre for 1-2-3, 1-2-3. This hero was getting banned out in round 1, I think both by and against them. But I think it's going to play really nicely into their playstyle. So far, we've seen their
10
carry
seconds
play
remain.
Night Stalker and Slark,
Turn
and
to
Spectre
battle.
is exactly the same playstyle. Get right up on top of an enemy hero, delete them, have impact in the early game, especially with the Shadow Step as her ultimate instead of Haunt. Like, this seems like their bread and butter here. It's going to be the
10
Faceless Void
seconds.
banned out, so yeah, you could see the Slardar go to the carry role, but almost definitely will be your
5
offlaner.
seconds.
So yeah, most likely looking for an
Radiant's turn to ban.
carry for inverse, and yeah, looks like an offlaner for 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Lil Nick's Visage will get the respect ban. That was played in game 1. That was a menace and was a big part of how they set their tempo. So
10
that will
seconds.
be, I mean, that's a good ban coming out from inverse.
5 seconds remain.
We'll get one more ban out of Little Nick's pool. Little Nick will be playing a different hero than we've seen so far because both Centaur and Visage are banned. Trying to think of what in particular they would look for. Yeah, Kunkka would do it. That was another hero. Big menace on the previous patch. Got a small nerf on the patch from this week. Yeah, not the
10
earliest
seconds
pressuring
remain.
offlane hero, but definitely
5
comes online
seconds.
pretty quick.
Dyer must choose.
Lifestealer is going to be the other ban from 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Which, yeah, that's another hero that works pretty well with the Inkswell on Grimstroke. So, not surprised to see that one taken out.
10 seconds. Radiant's turn to pick.
It's going to be the Mars. I like this option, and I'm excited to see Lil Nick play it. I think this is going to be pretty scary hero in this player's hands. Nothing crazy that I'm seeing as far as combos, but it is just going to be a good team fight,
5
tempo setting
seconds
hero
remain.
for 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Doesn't give you a ton against the Pango because he's debuff immune while he's rolling, so that doesn't give you an option to stop him. The Ice Shards from Tusk will be interesting because Pangolier can use that to his advantage, or Tusk can use it to trap the Pangolier where he doesn't want to be. It's going to be a good old Sven from Inverse. This is a nice way to round out their draft. Big damage to deal with. I mean, tanky heroes all around. Invoker is the only not very durable core in the game. Inverse's support's definitely pretty squishy. But yeah, you're going to get the double stun from Grimstroke. You're going to get the Inkswell. Doesn't go amazing with Pugna. You're going to have to be careful about who you're decrepifying, but that's fine. You're probably mostly using the Decrepify as a save against the Spectre. The 1-2-3, 1-2-3, not super reliant on attacking a single target. I think Tiber Ronson is going to be
10 seconds remain.
perfectly happy if he has to switch targets
5
within a fight,
seconds.
and won't be overly concerned if their primary target is blocked off by the Decrepify. Overall,
The stalwart
Grimstroke is so
behold, the
powerful,
weak
and
will
Inverse
falter.
drafted around Claw's Grimstroke very well. So I'm going to have to favor the Inverse draft, but I'm really excited for the Tiburon's Spectre. I think, just again, based on the heroes I've seen them play already today, I think this is going to be a really strong Spectre. So yeah, this should be a good one. Get into the draft, or into the game. We're done with the draft. In just a moment, as soon as we finish little strategy time. Game's on a 7-win streak with Invoker. That's spooky. And we're going to... We didn't have any of this in our first series, and it was great. But our team Inverse has decided they did not get enough strategy time. And are going to have the immediately pause. Okay, well, Pugna disconnected. I didn't realize that. So that's a reasonable thing to pause for. And like I said, this is a Peruvian stack, and our games are traditionally played on US East server, so can take a sec to get everybody set up. Alright. Luckily this one wasn't too long, so we will get right into it. So let's see, we've got DX on the mid-ping. We got Rybao on the Sven, Dominic Fike on the Slardar, likely in the offlane, Slaw on the Grimstroke, and Flax on the Pugna. Over on the Dire side, 555 for the third game in a row playing that Nature's Prophet. We've got James on the mid Invoker, Tiburonson on the Spectre, Lil Nick on the Mars, Demon back on the Tusk. Inverse smoked up, but they're chilling on their side of the map. And that smoke's going to expire now as they all hang out in the trees.
Just 30 seconds now.
Rybao off on the side in the lane, so should be free for the taking on this rune for side of 1-2-3, 1-2-3. And it looks like Dominic Fike will step up to the high ground, and we'll get another side swap rune split.
They've trained hard to get here. It's time now for the final fight.
Runes go either way. And we are off without any shenanigans. Look, yeah, full stats for the Invoker, who's a universal hero now. Makes plenty of sense. And almost as much stats from DX on the Pango. Traditional start for the Nature's Prophet and the Pugna. Black's making sure to have that Falling Blade so they can escape the Sprout right away. You see demonstrated immediately. A lot of terrible heroes, like we said, so should be a somewhat calm start. This Grimstroke's definitely going to get pressured by the Tusk, like we're seeing now quite a bit. Started off with a Stroke of Fate, did a little bit of harass damage, but he's going to get caught up in the Ice Shards because Tusk chose that over Tag Team to start things off. So Slaw in a world of hurt over here. Even is taking a decent amount of that damage right back at them, but...
Hello, I'm Gabe Newell. You've
Okay.
just achieved first blood. Thanks
Top
and have
side,
fun.
as I get distracted trying to manage one of my windows off my screen, we miss the first blood. Dominic Fike picks it up against 555. Did a little fight recap. Like, the Sprout did most of the work bringing down the Pugna, but a stun into another blast is going to be most of 555's health bar at level 1. Another pause from the side of Inverse. Imagine, because it was a pause and then a disconnect, so I imagine DX was having a little bit of network issues. Nick full of laughter in this game 1.
Rogue Knight claims another.
I'm already pretty low on mana. I guess probably just farming with the Stormhammer down here, but has the Magic Wand. So not going to be facing too much issue keeping that Stormhammer available. Alright. DX is back. Should be right back into it for pause. Out of the pause, I should say. Alright. And we're back underway with our learning phase.
Cut bait.
Try to keep a better eye up here at top on my health bars because I don't want to miss any more kills. I think they're getting a little low in the mid lane, but probably gonna be fine. It's gonna get hit by the cold snap, but we'll have the shield crash to get away, so it's gonna be fine. Hero Ronson stepping up a bit, gets stunned up by the bash. They're going to chain that into the Nether Ward, and yeah, that's just a dead Spectre. Dominic Fike picking up a second kill. And already only 3 last hits for the Spectre, so this lane is starting off very well for the Team Inverse. The off lane. Tornado out on DX. James continuing the impressive series of laning stages. Out ahead. 13-6 to 10-0 on the last hits. Harass continuing to come out with these Nether Blasts. 555. Eating all kinds of pain down bottom. It's Lil Nick that goes down. Rybow finishes it off. Straightforward. Looks like it was actually a lot of stuff from Grimstroke, the Inkswell. Imagine that was a full charge Inkswell that did a lot of that damage on the Mars.
Got it.
Side lane's off to an early good start for Inverse. James continuing to have the advantage in the mid lane. DX fully out of mana thanks to that EMP. Other cold snap coming up soon. DX has to be careful here. Gonna get the rotation in from 555. This is what this guy does best. Sprout is not on the mark, but it's not going to matter. They get a couple more last hit, right clicks to find the last hit, and it's 555 that will do so. James is going to have to back away. No bottle to speak for. And DX evidently continuing to have a bit of a connection issue. Upside Spectre might be in a little trouble, is stunned up by the bash, but still has a dagger to get away. Do a little bit of my lobby admin duties. Figure it's internet issues, but I don't believe that changes.
You look stunned.
Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, this is going to be good.
能帮我打个魔晶吗？
What else we got going on? Full bracer for the Invoker, going right for the Urn. Also, some raindrops ready to go for the Shield Crash. Blacks, they can catch up, but I don't think they're going to have the move speed. Well, 30 move speed advantage.
能帮我打个魔晶吗？
Thank you.
The true heroes are the ones who wait all the way.
We're back into it. James is able to escape, get a water rune. No bottle to refill for that, but does have the Yeah, you don't get regen passively anymore. They can dip into Ghost Shroud if they need it. Immediately going to Great TX with an EMP. So half your mana gone as soon as you respawn. Flax is here to offer some support. Down bot side, Slaw is going to get brought low and brought down. See if Ryback can find a return kill on Demon, but falling low themselves on the stun. So coming out of the unpause, picking up a kill. 5-5 taking a little bit of heat from Dominic Fike, but Bardar is going to get pushed away by the return harass. About sitting on some wand charges and a fairy fire, so it is okay if they end up going on them. And Slaw immediately can come in with some regen to share off of the respawn. And go in on to Tiber Onsen, but it's actually Dominic Fike getting brought down low by the Sprout damage. It's going to be a trade of the cores, and now they're going to look for more. Inkswell out onto Flax, but they have a little bit of heal, but it's not going to be enough. The Nether Blast comes in. It's a double kill for Flax on the Pugna. It's 2-1 for both the offlaner and the position 4 of Inverse. Off to a great start in this game. From a decent amount of last hits too, not far off of the Spectre. And I imagine if you look over the net worth, almost neck and neck with the Spectre, that is a scary place to be for 1-2-3, 1-2-3.
Regeneration.
About taking some heat down here. Still has the Fairy Fire though, so yeah, it's gonna get salved up by Slaw, so doing perfectly fine. Demon and Slaw gonna collide once again. Tag team's gonna come out onto Slaw. Nice shards to block him off from getting to the tower. Gonna turn around with the Phantom's Embrace. The Inkswell stun isn't gonna connect. The spear is, and into the snowball. They're gonna find the kill on the Grimstroke.
From memory.
We're in the mid lane. Flax trying to relieve some of the pressure on DX. James is gonna be alright here for now.
Eager to know Dire's whereabouts.
It's like Ronson finding decent amount of space now. Now both supports going to come in. They want to find a kill onto the Slardar, but able to get the quick cut on the tree to get out of the Sprout with the Guardian Sprint. They're not going to find anything on this guy yet. Big party in the top lane. Now 555 is going to split away. Go for the setup on DX. No mana to speak for on the Pango. Does have the wand charges, so we'll be able to get one swashbuckle away, but with Demon connecting as well, James is going to be able to finish off yet another kill onto the Pangolier. While coming over here, working on some stacks. Actually, a lot of stacks going up. But now he's going to step up in division and get spotted out by James and Demon, and Demon will bring down Grimstroke. Able to jump out of... Oh, but it's canceled before he can get the roll off. Now he will, but that means he takes a lot more damage and is finally going to go down. It looks like Demon will fall in trade. Killing spree for Flax, and Dominic Fike is in as well. Looking for something on James. Doesn't quite connect with the Slithering Crush. Looking for a bash. He's going to find over on 5-5. Now Flax falls. The rotation from Little Neck is massive, and they get the turnaround triple kill for James on the Invoker.
To their middle tower.
James looking for more. Going to run right under the tower with Slaw. 5-5 is there with the Sprout. It's going to be the Grimstroke to fall as well.
So soon.
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. They are all about these early tempo plays, setting the pace of the game to such an extreme.
Against top tower. is under attack. The dire scan. On the hunt for radiant forces.
Demon in on the back of this tower. Flax is here too, going to be able to survive for a bit with the Decrepified, but now Team Ronson turning their attention over to Dominic Fike. The snowball is going to roll through too. Connects onto Flax. They finished off the kill on Dominic Fike. They've got the Shadow Step available. Flax trying to escape, but there's nowhere to run over here. Corner of the river. James maybe finally going to go down. Will fall to the tower. Team Ronson low as well. Does finish off Flax. Going to pick up the Lotus. That means they're going to get hit by the Inkswell stun. Ribao is in with the God Strength and will finish off the Spectre, and then DX with the Rolling Thunder over to the Swashbuckle to pick off Demon. So Inverse finding a nice response, picking up 2 kills. They do lose 2 heroes. Now DX swashbuckles into the camp. Maybe didn't realize just how stacked it was. Looks like we'll be able to take some field crashes and swashbuckles. Lots of skeletons coming out. You've got 2 Dark Troll summoners in this camp. Gotta be careful about how much damage those guys can do. Swashbuckle will pick them off. Let's look at something more interesting than a Pangolier taking a stack. We've got Dominic Fike going to get interrupted trying to go through the gate, and then blocked off by an arena, and Tuber Ronson's in with the Shadow Step, and this is going to be a kill on to the Slardar. Tuber Ronson jumps right back to the original position from the Shadow Step.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And can find some more farm. Ribao is enjoying the less contested farm up in the top lane against the Spectre. But it means that their tier 1 tower bottom will fall.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Inverse
under attack.
stacking up in the mid lane.
Radiant's bottom
Maybe
tower
seeing
is
who's
under
going to make a play, or just looking to make a push. Trying to get that early tower damage coming out from Flax, as this tower is going to go down. Will it be denied? It will.
middle tower.
Nice
has
work from
been
555.
denied.
Outside, they're going to get the wraparound. Dominic Fike just coming up off of the respawn. Immediately going to run into 3 heroes with the snowball stun, the damage. DX trying to give them some space. Going to go in with the Rolling Thunder, but bounces off the wall. That awkward hit and gets blocked off by the ice shards. Very nice from Demon. No chance of landing that Inkswell slot put on him. And they'll be forced to just disengage. I don't know what it is that's getting my tongue so tied today.
Got it.
Another haunt in for Shadow Step. And with the Cold Snap, it's a tough spot for Ribao to be in. Even under their own tower is going to fall. Now Little Nick's in with the arena that's going to isolate off Slaw. The circle on the circle, and off on the side they find Flax as well. Suddenly it's 18-9 with a 4K lead, and 1-2-3, 1-2-3, they're doing it again. They just play at a pace that their opponents can't keep up with. They are the masters of this early game. Gonna take another tower here. One in the mid lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Continue to spread out across the map now.
What a bounty!
The Demon is going to have the Blink Dagger at just 13 minutes. The X does finish their Diffusal Blade, so that's going to up their potential for damage and fighting a decent amount. Black has a Ether Lens. Nice place to be in, and it looks like we've got the Echo Saber done on Sven. Good amount of power spikes, but Flax now going to get caught out with another Shadow Step from Tuber Ronson.
Dominated, I guess.
Able to walk away, James finishes off the kill for them. James has that Midas Spirit Vessel done, looking at a Boots of Travel and BKB. Next thing's on deck. We saw the Blink Dagger from Mars, a BKB of their own worked on as well. Blade Mail for the farming on Spectre. And 1800 gold in the bank. Probably going to see that turn into Yasha soon. In the mid lane, they find DX with another arena. I mean, everywhere you look, 1-2-3, 1-2-3 is taking these heroes off. It's going to be James finding Slaw now. Demon with the blink in. They get the Soulbind, but it's not going to be enough. They are going to get the double stun, but it's just going to help Rybao escape. But is that enough? Lil Nick doesn't have the arena. Ronson's in with the Shadow Step. And they get the spear to the tree. Ronson just going to go back to farming now, and they get the punch. They finish off the Sven. There are no breaks on the 1-2-3, 1-2-3 train. Another blink forward, a spear up to the high ground on DX. Can he get the Rolling Thunder off? Not before he's brought down by a Sunstrike. Flax is caught off on the side as well by Demon. 2 more heroes fall. It's turning into a bit of a stomp now. There's just nowhere safe on the map for Inverse. I mean, Dominic Fike is finding a bit of space over here with the Echo Saber, but now he's competing with Rybao, who's making their way over to the area, farming up with that Mask of Madness and Echo Saber.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This is
Masterpiece.
so hard to play into. We're going to have an Orchid on the position 5 Nature's Prophet, who is out farming 2 of the 3 cores on Inverse. And over in the triangle, we're going to get another Shadow Step. This time they have decent response, but Lil Nick is there with the arena. They leash together, the Mars and the Spectre, but they don't care. They want to fight together anyway. Ronson, though, is going to be in trouble and get stunned up and brought down, and now Little Nick caught off on the low ground. 55, though, with the Sprout. It's going to give Little Nick a little more space, but the Mars will finally fall. So they end up trading 2 cores for 2 supports. That's the kind of fight that Inverse is looking for.
Radiant's top tower is in danger.
Plenty of gold in the tank. And Slardar is now once again, they're going to find DX. And the Shadow Step's available. Team Ronson's in and now chasing down Rybao. Gonna keep going under this tower as Demon blinks in. Doesn't connect on the Walrus Punch. It hits a creep. But now with the Sprout, they're fully set up on the Sven, who's completely out of mana. They get the Soulbind on Demon and James. And that is, with the double suck, it's bringing them very low. Slaw, though, being brought down low as well. Demon gets into the snowball, able to escape, and Lil Nick's in as well. Flak is there. And Rybao, I don't know if that's a true GG call. It is. Slardar's going to disconnect. 17 minutes in. Inverse tap out. And we've been talking about how quickly 1-2-3, 1-2-3 is playing, but my goodness. 17 minutes. Inverse wanted none of it. Wow. I mean, there's not a chance that you can give an MVP to any particular hero. These players are playing together so incredibly well. Like, they're just putting together these perfect team fights. There's no room to breathe on the enemy team. I don't know what Inverse is going to do, because I felt like they had a really good draft to fight back into this, but man, they didn't quite have the pieces. Maybe there was the network issues we were seeing with the pauses, but we're going to have to find something. We will see what it is they find when we're back in about 5 minutes with game number 2. All right, and right back to it for game number 2 of round 2 of TDL America's Pro Series 27 in our late 2023 season. 123 just took a game 1 in what snowballed into a stomp. Inverse tapped out at 17 and a half minutes after losing a fight near their tier 2 tower. So they're going to have to come back with something different in this game too. 123 all day has been playing this high tempo Dota, and it is hard for teams to answer. We're just going to go back to the Treant Protector ban. This time they'll do the honors of banning the Primal Beast. It's going to mess with me because for the first time in 4 games, we have 123 on the Radiant side. But Inverse elected to take last pick rather than first pick on this one. So they want that overall counter.
Dire's turn to ban.
I'm curious to see what they do with that. I think, did they have second pick last game as well? They did, because last game 123 won the coin toss and took first pick.
10 seconds.
Interesting, because Inverse is just going to stick to pretty standard bans. I mean, Spirit Breaker, Bristleback, Primal Beast, Treant Protector, they're all heroes you don't want to see in your games, but they're not heroes 123 has been playing. It's going to be the 4th game in a row of a first pick 555 Nature's Prophet, and how do you beat this hero in the laning phase? He's winning multiple lanes. You need to somehow pick all of your cores in a way that you can survive what this guy's rotations are going to do for you. We'll see what Inverse choose to open it up with. They could go back to the Pango. DX had a rough time. I mean, James has stomped all 3 of his lanes today, I would say. Stomped might be a little strong. I mean, I don't know. We've seen a lot of not close lanes. I think DX put up the best fight, and that was while apparently dealing with network issues. It's going to be the Kunkka. That makes it through the draft. I like this one. It's going to be hard because you need to get to that Ags timing really quickly. But once you have it, then you create so much chaos in the form of the Torrent Storm that you can really break up the team fight from 123. They are going to respect the Grimstroke from Slaw. Also going to ban out the Centaur. We've seen that be a contested hero all day as well. Brewmaster will be the last ban in the phase Inverse. So we'll see what Inverse are going to open up this second phase with.
10 seconds.
Not going to be the Grimstroke this time. What other support do they want to go to? It's going to be the Vengeful Spirit. I like this. This is going to be a good immediate answer to the Nature's Prophet. Interesting. This is, I'm guessing, a position for Nature's Prophet. And they're going to go to a Magnus here. We haven't seen from them yet, but once again is going to play really well into the strategies they've been working with today.
Dire's turn.
Yeah, I mean, 555 has been owning on this Nature's Prophet all day, so I imagine that this is going to be a Demon Ancient Apparition. Position 4 AA is not something we see a lot. Ogre Magi is going to be one of their responses from Inverse. Yeah, I can see what they're cooking here. I mean, this could actually be a core Ogre Magi, but if it's a support, like, now both of your supports have a almost instant point-and-click stun. And that, like, whatever 123 coming at you with, you know they're coming at you. And so you need something that's going to stop them in their tracks and give you a minute to battle back in these fights. We get one more pick here from Inverse. I'm curious to see if it's going to make it look like this is a mid-ogre. I like the idea of this being a mid-ogre. And an off-lane Kunkka. Also curious where this Magnus will go. I think we've mostly been seeing it mid, but obviously it works well in the off-lane too. At least if your name is Collapse and you are the best off-laner in the world. So, not always the best metric to use, but I'm sure there are plenty of other offlaners that can make it look pretty good too. The Faceless Void is what Inverse is going to pick up here. So still not revealing where the Ogre is going. And this was a hero that 123 banned out. And again, another really good counter-initiator. 123 are going to have to take their fights carefully now because there's always the threat of the Chronosphere being thrown back in their face. I definitely like what Inverse is cooking here. It's also a good block pick because you see the Ancient Apparition on the other side, but it's a little scary because now if you catch some of your teammates in the Chronosphere, you are setting up for an Ice Blast on the other side. Timbersaw is probably the off lane here and Magnus in the mid. Those two heroes are pretty interchangeable, and my god, just another very fast early game power spike hero.
10 seconds.
The other thing is, we saw 123 close out a game that went longer. We were past 45 minutes in game 2 against 5 strangers, and they were starting to show signs of being beatable, especially because they were taking an early game draft to the late game. But they were also able to just put together the better team fights. It's going to be a Storm Spirit banned out for 123, so they're expecting this Ogre to be in the support role. I think that's probably more likely. Slark banned out for Inverse. I would definitely say 123 is looking for a carry. Lifestealer as well. So looking for, yeah, that whatever they're going to put in that carry role, something up tempo. The Spectre gets through, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them just go back to it. They are just going to draft away. The Chaos Knight did not get banned. That's, like, not the fastest carry, but that's still a fast carry. That hero does not need a lot to get online.
10 seconds.
Alright, what? So Inverse wanted the overall last pick. What are they saving it for? It has to be a mid-hero, I think. But you don't know if you're against Magnus or Timbersaw yet. Because it really could go either way. I mean, the two heroes, you know, they're durable strength heroes. They do AoE damage. They get on top of you. So you need something similar. The Quap ban, I think, from 123 is pretty based.
Lena.
It's going to be Lena. So, again, a good counter-initiate hero. Really nice into the Faceless Void Chronosphere. Like, a good option to have to work with that. Yeah, it is going to be Demon on the AA. Ironson on a really sick Chaos Knight. Got that golden shield over there, too. Nothing. It is going to be Flax on Ogre. We lost 555. So 123 just need to make sure they lock in their other two heroes so that 555 will get locked into Nature's Prophet automatically. Because otherwise they might random. There's going to be Lil Neck on the Timbersaw, James on the Magnus. So yeah, mid lane Magnus up against the DX Lena. I'm excited to see James play this Magnus. James has been winning lanes. And this is a fun hero to watch. I think Inverse have the right idea, but I worry if it's enough. I think my biggest worry is how long it's going to take Faceless Void to be effective in his own Chronosphere. But on the other hand, you have a lot of good things to go into that Chronosphere from the rest of your team. You're just going to have to play around him. You also don't have a ton of mobility. I don't know. I am curious to see if it's going to be enough. My gut is going to go with the team that I've just watched win 3 games in a row. And say that I favor 1-2-3-1-2-3 here. Because it looks like...
Masterful mark.
Looks like their draft is going to be able to pull off what they've been doing in their previous games.
That was skill, all right.
skill.
I should have gotten more water in the break. But it was a pretty short break. .555's back. BX is back. Should be good to go. Nothing unusual.
This
Or
is bullshit. This is bullshit.
starting items, it looks like. Okay.
Now the fight resumes. But will it follow the same thread?
Everybody's smoking up, but they're both going to the exact opposite points on the map. Taking over the enemy biangle.
30 seconds to battle.
Things are interesting.
Consider yourself warned.
Seems like
That was skill,
1-2-3-1-2-3 was smelling where Inverse was stepping. Now I'm just gonna set up around the river runes. This time not swapping sides like we've seen often. Excuse me.
Radiant versus Dire. It all comes down to this.
And it looks like we'll get another even split of our bounty runes. No first blood to be had. Ronson. Oh, they're gonna scout out Slaw running away here, and they leave a hero here. That's gonna be a Chaos Bolt into a Sprout, and there will be your first blood. As Tuber Ronson brings down Slaw off to an early lead for 1-2-3-1-2-3 once again. Flood does have the Quelling Blade ready to go, as usual. This top lane is going to be hard with the magic damage amp from the AA. We see the Ice Vortex coming out. And just so much harass from these two heroes. But Ogre is able to run at the AA, as we're seeing now. Black's taken care of. Our last hits up. Oh my goodness, Slaw is just getting completely run down. Another Sprout is there, and they're going to find the kill on Vengeful Spirit. Lina holding their own. DX is finding a way to beat the James mid lane. The Lina into Magnus matchup is feeling pretty good for them here. Is out to a start. This is something we've not seen yet today. So it'll be interesting to see how much the James mid lane has enabled the 1-2-3 playstyle. The side lane's going pretty well for 1-2-3. And it's not like James is that far behind, just isn't ridiculously ahead the way he's often been. Now James getting pushed back under tower, but has the water rune and bottle. Throws the sticks into the backpack. Brass continuing to come out from 555 onto Slaw. Forced to back away. Keeping my head on a swivel here. Got a low health hero in every lane. It looks like top is where it's going to go. Demon getting bonked down by Rybao, but able to escape before a bash comes out. But the Ignite and the Blood Grenade, this should burn this Demon to death. No! Had the Healing Lotus from the pool. And it's going to be fine. At least for now. Down bot, still chilling. James getting pushed back into the jungle a little bit, so still going... I mean, pretty even now overall, though, between the two of them. Only like a wave of difference. Slaw now going to make a rotation over to secure the Water Rune, as well as set up a stack. This was something we saw them doing as the Grimstroke last game. A stack prioritizing support, which you always love to have as support. But it also means that Dominic Fike was forced to go back, but has that X mark, so is going to be right back into lane. Top side, everybody's chilling. They do get a stun down on the Chaos Knight. Dominic Fike trying to chase forward through the Sprout. It looks like Tiber Ronson is going to be okay. Rybao now, taking a bit of flak from Timber Saw. And things will be a little calm. This is the lowest kill game we've had so far today at 5 minutes. Now here comes the rotation from 555 as Demon is going to get brought down. They're trying to get the return kill on Rybao, and it looks like they're going to have it. Last right click from 555, and can they find Flax as well? The Blood Grenade's there, Timber Chain forward, and the Whirling Death means that Flax is going to die.
What did you expect?
So Demon falls, but very happy to do so when that leads to the kill of both the carry and the support in your lane. On the bot side, Tiber Ronson in a little bit of trouble. Slaw looking for something here. Not quite gonna find it. Upside Rybao does TP right back up here and gonna get Timber Chained again. 555 hanging out in this area. They want to keep bringing the pressure to this Faceless Void. Sprout onto Flax. Ogre's durable though. They're gonna bring Slaw over here too. Try to relieve the pressure off of their carry.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Timber Chain doesn't quite connect, so now Little Nick getting brought a bit low. Gonna get stunned up, even trying to provide some slows to give him some space, but it looks like Little Nick will be okay and able to break away. Ronson playing aggressive, even at low health, throws out the Chaos Bolt. Kind of just creating harass, though, as Dominic Flake plenty of health to work with. Be able to just walk that one off.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
7-minute mark coming up. Doesn't look like... Oh, 555 is going to complete the TP over here. Throws down the Sprout to trap himself in the tree. And Dominic Fike able to snag it away. And now going to try to connect with the boat. 555 forced to cancel the TP, but not going to be able to escape. So nicely done from Dominic Fike. And up at the top, DX makes a nice rotation, brings down Lil Nick. So inverse. I mean, it's basically even, but a tiny bit of a lead now. Something we don't normally see up against 1v3, 1v3.
Okay, Prophet, I don't.
Rabao, what's coming out on this courier? Going for the Mask of Madness first. Claw getting pinged out in the mid lane. Private 5 gonna rotate over here as well. James gonna grab the Invis rune into the bottle, get the Sprout to lock down Slaw, but also kind of blocks off James. The X is still here, and Slaw is gonna be able to escape under the tower and be okay. He has the Mana Boots working on the Kaya Sanj. It's the first big item on deck for the Timber. James just looking right at that Blink Dagger. And T.B. Ronson. I think that armlet is just about on its way. Dominic Fike working on the Blade Mail. Augment that farm a bit. Yeah, it looks like Inverse have found the answer for that early game fighting. As Flax, though, is going to get caught looking to make a D-ward. This is... I mean, I guess he didn't even TP over. 555 doing a good job protecting the wards, and now they've got some big stacks built up. James and Lil Nick going to split it between the Whirling Death and the Cleave. Massive Ancient stack as well. Whole gang getting together to take this down. Inverse, though, they're going to read that T.B. Ronson is going to be alone here while the team's taking the Ancient stacks. They scanned up top and knew that those were being farmed. I believe Ogre saw that before the ward fell. So it looks like this is going to be a kill on the Chaos Knight, and DX will make sure of that with the Laguna Blade. So, big farm injection for side of 1-2-3, 1-2-3, but comes at the cost of their carry, and it looks like this will be a tier 1 tower as well.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower. Radiant's bottom tower is in danger. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Over on the other side of the map, will there be a...
Dire should look to their top tower. Radiant are scanning
counter push? It looks like it, but... Okay, they scan out that Rybo's on the way. Has the Chronosphere. Even's got to be careful here. Olnik's still in the area. Timber chain away, getting bashed up. Chain it into the stun. X marks back into the boat. It's all going to be enough. They bring 4 heroes, and that is what you need to bring down a Timber Saw, but James gets the smoke up, has a regen rune in the bottle, jump forward, get the RP onto DX, 555 in the area as well, skewer him up onto the high ground into the Sprout. The Laguna Blade comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Rybo, though, looking to TP over, and is going to drop the Chronosphere onto 555, so Rybo will get a return kill on the support. James just going to TP away. No chance to save your friend when they're locked in time. Is AA going for a phylactery?
What did you expect?
Is that what we're seeing here? Just phylactery.
bounty which my matriarch will prize.
Yes. I am very curious to see how this build goes for Demon, because I play a lot of AA, and I'd thought about trying a Phylactery build. It didn't seem that worth it, because it only procs off of your Q. See how it goes. Slaw is going to get brought down by James. They have a nice amount of return. Now the Ice Blast is going to bring down DX, so both mid laners going to fall. Now a big Timber Chain through, but Dominic Fike able to squeeze out on the backside through the Sprouts, trying to chase him down now, and they have the tools to do it. With the Timber Chain into the Chaos Bolt, and just deleted from Nature's Prophet ult. Will Mix sitting on top of Flax now, and it looks like this is going to be trouble for the Ogre, but they get the stun into the passage from Rybound. Now Will Mix can try to escape away, but Slaw is there with another stun. And Inverse, they brought the stuns to this game. They're not fooling around. That is seeming to at least work to keep this game even, rather than 1-2-3, 1-2-3 taking over control too early. Yeah, it is going to be a Phylactery on the AA before even a minute. It's going to be queued up next. Skewer out on, sorry, the Shockwave onto Slaw. Sprout just to block off the path, getting a little bit of that damage on the side. Now the Skewer forward, the slow from the AA, and the Magic Amp with the Shockwave will finish off Slaw.
Yes, this will do just fine.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower. The Dire Glyph is now active.
9-9 at 13 minutes, less than 1k net worth difference. And yeah, your guess is as good as any on where this game is headed. Very, very even. Start things off.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
You know, I didn't see it. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about why T. Ronson was respawning.
Scanning for enemies.
Number 5 looking to steal another Wisdom Rune. This time will complete the steal, and 2 levels up on Slaw. They have to be careful as the Wrath of Nature comes out. DX is going to make the rotation over. Oh, the Light Strike Array finds 555, cancels the teleport. Laguna Blade finishes it off, and Slaw does not quite go down. Smoke up for Demon and James.
Top tower is under attack.
Looking to see if somebody's going to push out this lane, perhaps, but Inverse are not biting the bait that is this Juicy Creek wave. Now Dominic Fight going to dodge everything with an X-Mart. Very nicely played by Dominic Fike. Oh, did actually get clipped by that Ice Blast.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Was still able to slip away.
To their middle tower.
Imagine after the Mana Boots we'll see a Shard come out from the AA. 555 continuing to be a nuisance with this Nature's Prophet. Get a smoke from Inverse as well. Slaw's gonna spot Demon. Or maybe we'll not spot Demon.
Haste.
We're going to back away now. I mean, I think I know he's in the area because of the Ice Vortexes, but Wrath of Nature comes down just for 555, still just trying to run away. And the smoke's not going to find anything for Inverse. Top side, Olnik and Rybao kind of looking at each other, giving each other the side eye. And are you going to go? Are you going to go? No. Gonna chill. Where they are going to go is onto DX, who does not have an X marks as a way to save them from the RP and Ice Blast, which has been the go-to combo for a single target pickoff for 1-2-3, 1-2-3 in this game.
Courier has been killed. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Also, with the double damage rune going to turn into a tower. And now the biggest lead of the game so far is 2,000 gold. That's on the side of 1-2-3, 1-2-3. So stayed even for quite a while, but now once again we're starting to see them get into that early advantage. Still incredibly close, so certainly not going to be seeing, you know, compared to where we were at 17 minutes in the last game, which was moments away from GG being called. This game is really anyone's. Right about threatening to go on Demon, but Demon just gonna back away. Right about doing pretty well on the farm. Has Maelstrom, Yasha, looking at the Sange next. James hunting again. They'd love to find this Faceless Void, but it doesn't look like they will. Sange finished on the Timber Saw. Got the Mana Boots on the A. Just gonna go for the Blink build. Interesting without the Shard. You've seen some supports do this where you just go for the point-blank Ice Blast, and I guess it's not even about prioritizing the stun from the Shard. As Demon in a little bit of trouble here, finding himself in the middle of many heroes. Gonna have to reveal themselves, gonna see if they can find a kill on Flax on their way out. The Wrath of Nature is gonna be there to help them. Oh, is there enough damage? Starting to tick out to the Frostbite, but is not going to quite fall below the threshold, and so Flax will go down. But 555 teleports in to finish it off. And now over in the mid lane, James going to try to find something onto DX, gets the Light Strike array to survive, and now, oh, but Tuber Ronson's over and on the side. Pulling Rebound is going to find the Chronosphere, but it's only onto James. This should kill the Magnus, but can Rebound survive the wrath of this Tuber Ronson Chaos Knight? Deleted so quickly, double kill on Slaw. Reality Rift to pull back in to Dominic fight, and it's a full team wipe in the end, at the cost of a support and a mid laner. And now things are starting to look 1-2-3, 1-2-3 favored.
There is little hope for Dire's
just a bit more. And the global presence that their supports have, like the way that they, I mean,
is under attack.
it started with the AA being gone on, but then 555 being there to finish off the kill on the Ogre was good stuff. And up top, the Ogre is gonna get a little too far forward, a little too close to Tuber Ronson, and one more Reality Rift will secure that kill. Over on the side, Demon's gonna walk right into DX, has the Ice Blast, but he's gonna get LSA'd, but 555 once again has the AA's back, TP's in, finishes off the kill, and is now just going to try to run the hell away. They're going to get run down by 3 here. Little Nick is in the area too. Sprout to give themselves some space. No Chronosphere for another minute, but Dominic Pike is here as well. At the X mark, onto Little Nick. Getting back into the Torrent. Now the RP onto both of the cores, and just stuck inside the Whirling Death. The swap, it saves Dominic Pike for now. Can they get him out? He gets the boat buff. Now the Torrent Storm's there. 555's back in. Lil Nick dives back in with the Timber Chain. And the Kunkka will fall, and now Tuber Ronson has shown up. Dominating streak off of the kill on Slaw. And once again, only costs a few heroes to kill even more. Mid lane Demon is going to set up on the Lina again. Does not manage to land the Ice Blast. Now maybe in some trouble. Flax connects with the stun. Laguna's there, but DX is just going to fall to James again. Every time they kill this AA, the rest of the team's there to finish off what AA started. Like, every time this guy dies, Demon's 0-4-10. And, like, I think each of his deaths has led to at least one assist. I think often, too.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, this is going to be nearly a full tier 2 tower. Dominic Fike maybe considering going for the die. I think they'd like to keep it up, though, because it also represents a Fortify reset.
Is under attack.
Meanwhile, Tuber Ronson keeping this mid lane push.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The tower pressure now is starting to build. This is before we're starting to see the Treants get involved, I
Dire's
think.
middle tower is under attack.
So we got for items, we have... That was an Aghanim set. Oh, we have the Midas on Ogre, very nice. Yeah, Aghanim's done on Nature's Prophet, so that's a global 2 to 4 second route that can set up a global Ice Blast. Get a few heroes smoked up, most of the team. Rybao hitting creeps as bait, but 123 are not interested. They are fully farming elsewhere. Chaos Knight TP's home, maybe getting the idea that things might rotate out towards him. 555 is going to make the call that we should pick up Roche soon on 123. See if they decide to head that way. Looks like Tiber Ronson's interested. EX has the Aghanim Scepter ready, so that Flame Cloak online early for the Lina after just the Aether Element needs to travel. Smoke now on 3. This gank squad, the RP is available. They have Blink Harpoon. If they find this Lina, Dire's sniffing that they might have gone into their... Ronson's gonna see Slaw pop up on the scan. I think they won't quite step up to find DX. Ronson has to be a little careful. There are quite a few heroes in the area. He's just gonna take the Twin Gate away, and now will consider starting Roche. Finish off the Dire Tier 2, and that opens up the Dire Tormentor. They'll pick that up real quick.
Pull roots and run.
And that's going to be the Curse of the Old Growth for the Nature's Prophet. So another AoE slow for them. Blink Dagger is finished on Demon. Still doesn't have the Shard. Just looking, I think the idea here is like make sure you're always hitting the RP with an Ice Blast. And the easiest way to do that is to be able to blink in after the Magnus. And just hit it point blank. How's the Sage Nyasha finished?
Unseen.
Looking towards building the Maelstrom into a Mjolnir next.
Middle tower is under attack.
Olnik with the Lotus Orb, gonna make this Thundersaw even harder to deal with. Now looking at an Octarine to continue to scale up. Up top, a fight breaking out. The Skewer back onto Flax, and we try to finish off the Ogre. The Ice Blast isn't quite going to connect. 555 trying to finish off Slaw, but is actually going to be the one brought down. Chaos Knight looking to find Slaw. Tiber Ronson rotating over to the back, and it's going to be the Timber Train in from Lilnik that finishes off. Torrent out from Dominic Fike is not going to find much. Now the Blinken from the Chaos Knight. Just about everybody on this team has a Blink Dagger. Lil James gets the RP, but doesn't actually pick up the Void in the Chrono, or in the Skewer. Now the Chrono's here onto the Chaos Knight, and suddenly this fight is looking pretty good for Inverse. Tiber Ronson not going to be able to survive. Lilnik trying to finish off the Kunkka, but won't be able to. Timber Chain gets interrupted, and they have the X-Marks. That's going to bring back Lilnik. The AA manages to find the Kunkka in the back line. They'll at least get that kill, but overall... Oh, and he's going to find Flax as well! Oh, able to sidestep the ult, and there's no vision to be able to detect it. Now Blink's up here. Flax still looking for trouble. Demon just going to go try to sacrifice himself to Roche Pit. But Roche has prioritized the Faceless Void, and Faceless Void is saying, hey, well, as long as I'm here... Let's get ourselves an Aegis. .555 is going to pick up the middle tower with the Treants and the armor reduction in the meantime. But this is going to be a Roshan for Inverse. They answer back with a really big team fight. That was just the tail end of it. Dominic Fike will be right there to relieve the pressure that the Natures is bringing on the mid tower. now. 555. Gets the Sprout on Dominic Fike. Lil Nick jumps in with the Timber Chain, and they're going to find the Kunkka. Boat buff is not in time, and they find DX off on the side, too. They don't care that the Faceless Void has an Aegis. They're going to find the other 2 cores. Slaw is just barely going to dodge, being found by James. Taylor Ronson just blinks right up into the high ground. James follows up. Ice Blast up onto the backline. They push back Rybao. Now the Faceless Void has the BKB and the Aegis, but is already getting brought down. The damage is way too much. Flax is going to go down. Dominic Fike bought back, but was not able to connect there in time. The RP was cancelled, so it's still available. Now it's going to connect onto 2, and out of nowhere, off of what looked like the fight that was going to turn it around for Inverse, they get the Aegis, but then they lose everybody. It's high ground. Only Slaw is going to respawn. It's at least a set of barracks. There's no buybacks available because this came out of absolutely nowhere. At 28 minutes, in what seemed so long like an even game, now it's an 18,000 net worth lead. Barracks are being hit, and they could start looking at tier 4s. There's going to be some heroes respawning, so they're going to play it a little more safe, start looking at another set of barracks. Now Lina and Vengeful Spirit are respawned, joined by Ogre, but it's still a while without the Faceless Void or the Kunkka. They are going to have their full kit available when they respawn. Tiber Ronson wants to make sure that there's never a chance for there to be an even fight again, takes the Vengeful Spirit out of the equation as they finish off the bottom barracks. Lil Nick all the way in on the back lines is going to start to retreat, knowing that the Faceless Void is coming back up soon. Demon, absolutely no mana, now going to finally blink away. It won't be Megas yet, because they won't have the time to take it, and there is still a tier 2 tower to be taken in the top lane before those barracks are available. But man, look, 555 is at the top. That this was such a close game for so long, and then it just went to the moon. There's this little dip where they lost the Roche fight, but my goodness. You have an Orchid and a Heart of Tarrasque on the Chaos Knight. Like, what did this net worth turn into on these heroes? This is a massive amount. Dominic Fike chase up, but they're just a few steps too many behind the Chaos Knight. 555 has a Desolator. Dominic Fike goes through the portal, and Tiger Ronson's right there waiting for it. The Kunkka's gonna fall.
I'll set you.
Now Tiber Ronson's going to go back through the portal. They see some of these heroes farming the creep wave. It's going to walk right into Flax, who has the Glimmer Cape, trying to escape. Slaw is there as well, but now Little Nick is going to connect. They get the pullback, and the Ogre's gone. Little Nick jumps forward with the Timber Chain, trying to chase down Slaw. Blinks forward. Does everybody on this team have a Blink Dagger? It's everybody except the Nature's Prophet. And who needs a Blink Dagger? He's level 20. He's not that far off from no cooldown on TP. They're going to find a Gem of True Sight off of this. Lil Nick is moving towards DX. This is... I cannot believe what 123 are doing here today. DX has a Blink Dagger of their own, but James is going to blink in, has the Harpoon. Oh, DX able to blink away, but Tiber Ronson has a Blink Dagger as well. The blinks are too much. There's no way to escape. Ice Blast is going to connect onto 2. He has the shard now. Pulls back into Lino, who just bought back. Immediately removed from the game. The Torrent Storm trying to hold this Chaos Knight in place. Rybao with the bashes. Can they bring down Tiber Ronson? They push him back towards the fountain. The Chaos Knight will be brought down. But in the meantime, the Nature's Prophet is going to get Mega Creeps. Flax calls the GG. And 1-2-3, they take it 2-0 again. And this team that came in as, let me double check, the 15 seed out of 16 teams is moving on to round 3, which is the quarterfinals of the tournament. And they're doing it by crushing these games. Man. That was an insane game. I can't get over how much it looked like Inverse cracked the code. They were keeping the game even for so long. It was only at 20 minutes that we started to see 1-2-3 take the lead. And from there, I mean, there was almost just no turning around. They ramp up. There's that beautiful fight that Inverse takes around Roche to turn things back their way. It looks like they've found the answer. They're bouncing back. And then 1-2-3 just slam the door on them. I mean, what are these guys eating? It's really impressive stuff. This is a fun team to watch. MVP. I want to give an MVP. I gotta give it to 555. The Nature's Prophet 4-0 today. I mean, the team's 4-0. 555 has had the first pick Nature's Prophet in every single game that they've played today. And it has crushed every game. And this game, even more so than before, 8-5-20, was at the end of the day outfarming the enemy team's carries. The armor reduction as a Desolator, the extra Blightstone in the backpack, Orb of Destruction, and working on an Assault Cuirass. This guy, like... And it combos so nicely because then you've got the Chaos Knight for extra armor reduction. It was just a full carry transition from the Nature's Prophet, which wasn't something we'd seen 555 do in the previous games. Man, also shout out to Demon, who, I mean, I've been praising all day anyway, but the sacrificial plays from this AA were beautiful as well. Man. It's also just the coordination. I think that's what it comes down to. And maybe some network issues for Inverse, but I don't want to say that to take away from a very impressive performance from 1-2-3. And I mean, Inverse, that was... I mean, either that or Game 2 from 5 Strangers were the closest that we've seen to a crack in 1-2-3's playstyle. I would say this was closer because they stopped them from winning the early game, but get their business done. Alright, I'm going to stop talking about this game. It was an excellent game. I encourage you to follow... This is the end of my casts for the day. I encourage you to take a look at who 1-2-3 plays next. Ooh, that looks like it's going to be Sand King Gomez. That will be a very fun one. That's a legit team. I mean, that's a I believe Div 2 NA team. So that's gonna be a cool. Yeah, so enjoy, check out some of the other streams. Let me see who else is going right now. And I will throw you over to another TDL stream. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep an eye on the Discord for the schedule, and to see more upcoming games, and to find where... I'm not seeing where the next 1-2-3 game is being cast yet, so be on the lookout for that. And have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy even more of the action of TDL America's Pro Series 27 of our late 2023 series, or season that we still have to come.